everybody, my name is Elliot Newton. I'm the Biodiversity Officer for Kingston Council, and welcome to the next episode of Reading Nature. And these are lessons that we're running with the Kingston Library Service to tell you all about the amazing wildlife that Kingston has to offer, and try and encourage you to get out even during winter to explore our green spaces, and while you're walking around trying to interpret and understand some of the amazing creatures that also call Kingston home. And today we're standing on a really interesting place. It's where the Hogsmill River meets the Boneskill. So we're now standing in a really interesting place, which is the Hogsmill River, and it's where the confluence is, where the Hogsmill meets the Bonesgate. And especially in Kingston and urban environments, our rivers are so important. They're really important wildlife corridors, and they're really important sources of wildlife. So you have fish and invertebrates and birds, and mammals that all rely on these important ecological features. But I'm here to tell you about today what I think one of the most charismatic and magnificent bird species that we have in the UK, and we're so fortunate to actually have them in Kingston. And these are kingfishers. And kingfishers are very hard to see. They fly fast and low just above the water, but a really good way to sort of look out for them is with actually listening with your ears, because they have a really high-pitched, shrill sort of whistle that they sort of call as they fly up and down. So you typically hear them before you see them. And if you are lucky enough to get a glimpse of them, you get to see this absolutely beautiful creature. And just to show you this electric blue here that's on their wings, the electric blue is actually made through the way in which light passes through the feathers, and the feathers are actually see-through, and it's what we call structural colour. So that electric blue is caused by the way the light refracts through the feathers of the bird. And they have these amazingly bright orange breasts, and the brighter the breast, the sort of more attractive the kingfisher is to other kingfishers. So it's a real good demonstration of their sort of physical health and their sort of fitness. And that bright orange is caused by a pigment called carotenoids, which is where we get a lot of our oranges and reds in the natural world. And if you're lucky enough to see one, you'll probably see it while it is perched or while it is hovering, and that is where it is searching for fish. And so a kingfisher needs to eat lots and lots of fish, typically has to eat its body weight in fish every day. So if we have kingfishers on the river, that means we probably have quite a lot of small fish like sticklebacks and minnows that can try and support these amazing creatures. So we call them indicator species. So by their very presence, we know the river is in a suitable health to support the fish that these guys rely on. Unfortunately, in winter, when the conditions are slightly harder, you actually see quite a high mortality rate in kingfishers. We typically get about 90% loss of kingfishers in the winter. But in the spring, when the weather is better and it's warmer and there's better sort of a stronger environment for them to live in, they can breed very fast. So they can have maybe up to two to three broods in 1 year, and they can have up to 10 chicks just in one of those sort of sessions, which shows that they can really recover well in the spring months. And they create these really complex or lovely sort of bank burrows in which they have their young. And if you're lucky enough to see a kingfisher holding a fish, that can give you an indication if that kingfisher has young or not. So if the kingfisher is holding the fish by the tail, and the tail is in the beak and the head is dangling down, that probably means the kingfisher has got young, because he or she is going to fly to their bank, which is burrowed into the bank where the nest is, and they will feed that fish to their young, presenting the smooth head of that fish to the young. So it's a nice, easier meal for them rather than the flappy tail. And if they're holding the fish by the head, it's probably going to eat that themselves to make it an easier meal for them to eat. So they really are amazing creatures, and this time of year is a really good time of year to try and spot them, because we have less foliage and less leaves on the trees, so you might get a better chance to hear that whistle and see that electric flash flying past. So make sure when you're next walking along, either the Hogsmill or the Bonesgate or any other sort of rivers we have in Kingston, keep your eyes peeled for these amazing guys.